Joining me is Bandai Namco brand manager Steven Akana.
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks for coming by, dude.
Yeah,
You've got a game that people really want to know a lot about. It's been called Anime Souls. Would you say that's an accurate sort of description, or is that being a bit reductive?
It's one of those things where it's like, at a first glance, I can totally see a lot of those comparisons where it's like they're looking at it, and there's a lot of inspiration that's been taken from a lot of the games that fall in that Soulsborne category. But once you get past that first layer, you can really find that this is a game that's really putting a different stamp in that play space and really trying to think about, well, what are the things that in this type of game genre did they really like when they are playing as gamers, and what things did they want to change up and make sure is a little bit different, maybe make the game more inviting to a wider audience.
Okay, and this is from the studio behind the God Eater series?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and they're known for having, properly fleshed out storylines and everything. Which
when you think about God Eater, it's like, it was equal parts of like really deep involving story, but then like these large scale boss battles. So like they're very familiar with being able to work within those two areas. And I think adding in a lot of those story elements in Code Vein is something that's gotten piqued a lot of interest in a lot of fans.
Now, this is a post-apocalyptic dystopia that has vampires in it?
Yeah, so all the characters, they are revenants, and they're cut off in this closed-off environment. And basically, all these revenants, when they become revenants, they lose their memories. And so they're working together to try to figure out there's kind of a society of, how they organize sharing of blood and being able to kind of figure out what's going on in this world. But you join this group, and your main mission really is to discover like more of your memories in your past, unlock the memories of your partners, and escape this living nightmare.
Wonderful, and we're looking at live gameplay right here.
Yeah, this is the new build that we have cut just special for E3. So it takes place in a new world environment, but there's a couple extra features that people will be able to find in the main game. So right now we have Nick behind driving the game, and he's showing us how there's different blood codes that your character is able to choose between. And these ones dictate a lot of the different gifts that you're able to use. So gifts basically are like spells. They're either attacks, they're buffs that you can do with your character, there's buffs that you're able to do combined with your other character. And within those, you're able to mix and match those different gifts. As you go into the main game, you can actually unlock them, mix them between different character classes. So one of the big features that the team really wanted to put forward was they don't want people to feel locked into, you pick a character and you have to play that the entire time. There's no perma-spec against your character. So you can change out your weapons, change out your gift loading set. So if you hit a wall, you don't have to just get better. You also want to think about it and think, well, maybe my playstyle is a little bit different. Maybe I'm not someone who goes straight out. Maybe I want some more support elements.
And it's not like re-rolling entirely. It's more like you can kind of pick and choose and
exactly.
Things. Excellent. One thing I know people are kind of concerned about is that this is a game that you've got companions with you, and that's an NPC playing, correct?
Yes.
Are the NPCs optional? Can you go it solo if you feel like it?
If you really chose to, your NPC is able to die as you're in a level. If you wanted to mission on your own, you can let your NPC fall and just continue to mission forward and not revive them back. So if you wanted that extra little piece of challenge, you could do that. But the game really is built to have this partner experience so that you're not feeling solitary, so that there is options on just like your own health management, your partner's health management, and especially when you're in a large-scale boss fight, it's really clutch to make sure that you think about what your partner is doing.
And the different partners, what are their sort of builds like, their specialties?
So your character, you build your own character in the game, customized boy or girl, different weapon sets, but the NPCs that you work with, they have their own weapon set and their own features that you actually can't customize.
Okay.
So certain characters are going to have, they're going to be more aggressive, going out and fighting more, but they don't really focus on giving you any sort of strength buffs. Other characters really kind of focus on doing a little bit more of hit and run tactics, and they focus on making sure that you have all the added buffs to your character group or keeping you revived.
Okay. Can you instruct them to hang back or to follow your lead, or is it to adjust their playstyle?
It's choosing those different characters.
Gotcha.
Like,
so
certain ones will start being a little bit more aggressive. But I think that's kind of one of the cool things is that there's a life to these additional NPCs beyond just their play style. All of them have their own background story, and as you go through a new mission in the game, you can do certain tasks that's able to unlock their memories and build your affinity with them to help level them up as well.
Okay, so you do build relationships with your
It's the God Eater team after all, so
There
I
you
mean,
go.
you know, they're always thinking about like, you know, there's no piece that's just there for show. They want everything to have multiple layers to it and feel like deeper.
Okay. Now you've said that I believe someone said in an interview that there's no like easy difficulty, but obviously there are, you know, the Soulsborne type games are known for their difficulty, but that can scare people off who just want to experience the story. What kind of accommodations are made for people who are maybe more casual or just want the narrative out of it?
So there is only one singular difficulty, but being that, you know, there's ways that you can actually call in another player. So if you're online and you see your other friend that's online, you can send out a distress call if you meet a certain amount of requirements, and they can jump into your game and you can actually join in a 3-man cell. So then it's you, your NPC, and then also your partner, your friend online. And that definitely adds even more variety and gives you an extra edge in being able to get through some of those really difficult locations.
Okay, well that sounds familiar. That was actually going to be my next question is what's the story with multiplayer? Some sharp-eyed fans picked that out on I think a screenshot a while back.
I mean, when you see, like, you know, you can play with like another player, the obvious thought to people is just like, come on, you guys got to have multiplayer. And when we finally got to announce it, it was a really cool reveal that we were like, no, it's not. You don't just switch out with the NPC. You actually join in that party and make it a party of 3.
So your custom characters appear to each other and everything.
Exactly.
That sounds good. Tell me a little bit about the exploration in this world.
So the way that the whole game works is it's a connected dungeon. So you have a home base that you go to, and from there you can dispatch out to different locations. But those locations you can go through, and they're all connected to each other in different areas. So as you go through, you can go back, play through different areas again, be able to get some more of the haze, which is what you do to spend down to unlock your different gifts, to be able to level up your character's level, all those different types of things.
Now, we've only got a few minutes left here, but are we going to get a chance to see a boss fight in action?
Yeah, I think we'll have Nick just die really quick, and from there he can go straight to the boss.
No! Nick, why did you do that? Okay.
Bye, Nick.
So I'm curious, how do the bosses respond to the NPC parties?
It's really interesting because when playing in the previous build, you can even see where the boss is looking at you. And I always would, when I'm trying to coach, like, you know, people that are starting to play the game, we always have like a beat the boss challenge that goes on. And I always tell him, look at the boss's face. Look to see where he's looking, because if he's looking towards the other character, you know that he's going to go in that direction. Keep kind of a pincer attack formation, so that if he starts running in the other direction, you can give yourself buffs, you can heal yourself over, and it gives you a little bit of a better visibility of what's going on with your partner character.
I like that. So you get a sense of really what your partners will be doing and how they're going to react to situations. So in addition to sort of the in-story relationship you build, you actually learn how to kind of play alongside that AI.
On first pass, you might think like, oh, okay, there's a partner character, I don't really need to think about him. But as you continue to play it, you really do think about this other person. Like, I find myself playing it and calling out to my partner. I'm like, Mia, heal me. So right now, he's playing against, this is the invading executioner.
Now tell me about her.
It's cool. She actually, the team took inspiration from exotic dancers. So she has this cool like spinning attack where she's like spinning with her knees. But there's a lot of moves that she has that are very deceptive. She has one where she moves from one side of the play field to the other in like this sweeping slide. But sometimes she'll double up with 2, and it's one that ends up hitting both you and your partner if you're not careful. So you always have to think about, like, you know, each of these bosses have multiple modes with different attacks. Always keep an eye on what their preps are and the best way to be able to evade different attacks.
And about how far into the story are we with this boss?
So this is actually taken to, it's an actual part of the game, but then they've readapted it to for an event. So this is not the exact location where you fight this boss. But if I was to say, when you get to this this dried up seabed area, it's probably maybe about like 5 hours into the game, 4 hours. Yeah.
And we're looking at a sizable campaign length, I'm guessing.
Definitely.
Okay. Cool. Now I've got to ask, Bandai Namco has the rights to God Eaters and the Dark Souls game. Is there any chance of seeing, costume DLC or familiar characters make a sort of maybe non-canonical appearance in there?
We don't have any information about that beyond the pre-order that we have for the game. There's a crossover for God Eater weapons. So the iconic weapons of 3 different characters, you can actually get those and equip those in the game. So it's something really cool for people who have been following this development team for a really long time.
Beautiful. And this is coming out September 28th worldwide?
September 28th. We were just recently announced that date. Everyone's super happy about it. I'm super happy about it. Yeah, really, really excited.
And that's on PS4, Xbox One, and PC?
Yes.
Are there any plans to come to Switch at some point?
No news about Switch.
Okay, well, we can always hope for a little bit more. Let's see, is there anything else you want to touch on?
No, just really excited that we get a chance to be able to do another E3, show everyone this game. It's something that we've been working on for a really long time, and Bandai Namco, we work on a lot of stuff with licensed partners, but then we also have a lot of stuff that we do internally, and it's a great opportunity to show that in-house some of the cool stuff that we're able to do.
Well, thank you so much for coming by, Steven. We appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
It is time for another quick break, but stick around because next up is After Party, a game about winning a drinking contest with the devil, and then we're throwing down with Dead or Alive 6, so don't go anywhere.